Sahana
This
Bhavatu,
meeting is being recorded.
Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvisha vahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam, Kamsa Chanuramardanam, Devaki Paramanandam, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Before I take the class, I just want all of you to realize one thing. Brahma Jnana, knowledge of God, the experience of God, which they call samadhi, etc., etc., are all misunderstood mostly, mystified by our own imagination. So you do not have to study 11 Upanishads. One Upanishad properly study, that's enough. One chapter of Gita properly study, that is enough. 2-3 sentences through a guru, that is enough. So what you have to do is not extensive study, but intensive study. Not extensive study, but intensive study. How to do that intensive study? Every sentence that is spoken of should see its relevance to your life. Every sentence that is spoken of should see its relevance to your life. If you see that, if you are able to catch that relevance, you got the knowledge. If you are not seeing the relevance of the thing that is spoken to your personal life, it is only a load on the head. It's only a load on the head. See, Vedanta, knowledge of God, is given to us to make ourselves happy. How does it become a load on our head? That's because we have wrong approach. We have formed notions that somebody who can lecture on all the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and various bhashyas, left and right, quote left and right, is an enlightened person. If that is the case, Sri Ramana was not enlightened. Because Sri Ramana did not study the Upanishads, did not study the bhashyas. Okay. So, this should go into you that if this teaching does not change my life to be a more enthusiastic, more inspired, a better quality of life, there's something wrong either with the teacher or your own understanding. Both can happen, but it is your duty to check up what is taught has a relevance to your life. Okay? So Taittiriya Upanishad is one like that. And in fact, this is the only Upanishad, to my knowledge, what I have read, about 13 or 14 I have read, only Upanishad which goes to every aspect of life. It's all inclusive. It talks about your need for money. It talks about your need for recognition. It talks about your need for, students, for you to express, why you should express. All the various aspects are taught in this. So up to now we have seen the preparation of the mind to receive the teaching. In most of the Upanishads, whether they say that or not, they first deal with the preparation. That's called Upasana. The next, they try to give us the teaching, Upadesha. Finally, it is first the Upasana in Taittiriya Upanishad, then the teaching, and then again Upasana of a different type. First Upasana was just to prepare your mind intellect. Last Upasana is to make you, through your own inquiry, reach that state. Two types of upasanas are given in Taittiriya. In between, the text is taught. What does the text say? What does any text of Vedanta say? What does any text should talk to make your life richer and beautiful? We know now text talking about how to make money, right? You have a lot of things. How to get education, how to get a good house, how to get power, how to become popular. All these are taught. Excellent, you need all of them. Do not say these are useless. You need all of them. But they're all means. They're all means, because if it is an end, after that you should not have a need. If it is an end, your search, your effort should end there. After that, you should not have any need at all. Since they do not end with the house, with the cars, with the education, with the money, with the power, they are only making your life probably more and more comfortable. But the end is different. What is the end? End is to find answers to death, sorrow, and find total mastery over life and the world, and find unpunctuated, unqualified, unending happiness. This is what we need. So any book that talks about all these is the book that you need. But practically it is not possible. Therefore, there are two sets of books. One who talks about the preparations of your life to gain this goal, the means. That knowledge is called secondary knowledge, which in Sanskrit it's called apara vidya. It will be interesting for you to know that Mundakopanishad says even Vedas are apara vidya, because they are only written words. What is Paravidya? Paravidya is primary knowledge. Aparavidya, secondary knowledge. What is Paravidya? That which gives you the goal, the happiness, the immortality. Aparavidya is through effort. Knowing money, you won't get money. Knowing house, you won't get the house. You have to put effort. Knowing a car, you won't get the car. You have to put effort. And it is finite. Put effort and finite and relative. Effort, finite, relative. But the highest is knowledge, no effort. Why? If it is infinite paravidya, the ultimate, it has to be only through knowledge, because the infinite is there everywhere and you are not different from it. What is there everywhere should only be known, not got through any effort. And that is infinite. Is this not an irony? Finite things you have to put an effort. Infinite you have to only know. But that is the truth. That's the truth. So knowledge gives you this. And that book which gives this knowledge is called an Upanishad. So Taittiriya Upanishad prepared us through the first Valli with all the tips to focus. Because the mind intellect should be integrated. Free from dissipations. Prepared us. Now he is giving us this knowledge. He said, this ultimate goal, supreme, param means highest, nothing beyond it. That's called param, nothing beyond it. This highest is obtained through knowledge. Brahmavid apnoti param. Brahmavid, the knower of Brahman, gets the highest. And tadeshabhyukta. And there is a statement against this. What is that highest? Satyam jnanam anantam Brahma. Where is it? Yo veda nihitam guhayam paramev. It's in your own heart. It's in your own heart. Heart means what? Not the pumping heart. It's in your core of the personality. What is the core of your personality? Your feelings and your understandings. So this is very much supporting that core of the personality. So just look at the source of that core. You will find this consciousness. Saha ashnute sarvan kaman. What is the benefit of getting it? You are running after several desires. And in each one also you don't get the best. You want a house? You can't be the one who gets the best house in the world. You want a car? You can't have the best car. Right? Like that, whatever you want, you won't get. That they are not the best. Right? And all of them put together you want. Certainly you won't get. Certainly you won't get. Then what is life without getting the best? You will get the best. Not of one, of all. Not of one, of all. Simultaneously, totally, without effort, merely knowing. And that is this knowledge, which having got it, you as Brahman will enjoy this knowledge. The results of all your fancied kamas, desires, and much beyond it. You thought you have imagined maximum sankalpas for your happiness. You are poor even in imagining. You are poor even in imagining. Shastra says that's all too secondary, but you will get all of them. And you will get much more also. Many a time you have a feeling you are missing something. You don't miss anything. No, Brahma Gnana comes, don't I miss the joy of eating a pizza? You will get that also, Upanishad says. Don't I miss going to places, Switzerland? He says you will get that also. Don't I miss the joy of, going to a cocktail party? He says you will get that also. You won't miss anything. And all that infinite times, simultaneously. And you will get much more. That is the benefit. This first verse says to us, by knowing Brahman, you get the supreme, and having got it, along with him, you enjoy everything. Right? That's enough motivation for you. And if you are reading for about 15 years, right? You have not got this. Something is wrong with your reading. You have to either go to the teacher, go on questioning till you find an answer, or change the teacher. You understand? Have you not seen how many intelligent people have come to the first class? Now many of them dropped because they found this is not for me. So something is wrong if you don't get this benefit, especially after 1 or 2 years. Why talk 10, 15 years? Even after 1 or 2 years, if you have not got the benefit of this Shastra, the way in which it is promised, something is wrong, either with the teacher or with you. You can't waste your life. Either you live a material life or a spiritual life. Why do you lose both? So this is what is promised there. And now, that said, this is what I am seeking, is in my heart. The heart is like a cave. It's hidden there. How to reach? How to reach? He gives the means. In a cave, it is hidden. That means there are lots of layers. You have to go from the first gate, second gate, third gate, fourth gate, fifth gate, and then reach that. So he is giving us knowledge of these gates. And interesting part is, even these gates are nothing but that bliss only. But at these gates, you don't get the total bliss. At these gates, you don't get the total bliss. When you reach the core, you get the total bliss. Even these gates are that only. Why only that? Because what you are seeking is infinite. Infinite could have not come from finite. Infinite should have come only from an infinite. From infinite, nothing can come. Therefore, infinite alone appears to be different. Have you understood? Infinite cannot come from finite. Infinite can come only from infinite. From infinite, nothing can come because there is no space for it to come. Therefore, all that you see, the very finite things, are expressions of the infinite under certain conditions, like one beam of light passing through a prism splits into many, like the one waker sleeping splits into multi-faceted dream world. Right? So he is now telling us, giving us how he has become this many, so that you know that and go from one gate to another gate. तस्माद् वा एतस्माद् आत्मन आकाशः सम्भूतः आकाशाद् वायुः वायोः अग्निः अग्नेः आपः अद्य पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः. Tasmat, from that Brahman, which is in the cave of your heart, Akashaha Sambhutaha, space has come. From space, air has come. From air, fire has come. From fire, water has come. From water, earth has come. From earth, the various plants and herbs, all those things that feed you have come. And from them came the Annat Purushaha. From that Anna, Oshadi, from plants, from herbs, food has come. From food, this Purusha, this person has come. From the Oshadi, plants, herbs, Annam has come. From Annam, this person has come. Now, from Annam, this person has come. So, where to see the Annam? He says, that's everything in you. There is nothing other than that, what you see. Sava Yesha Purusho Anna Rasamayaha. He is the essence of food. Tasmad Eva Shiraha. His head is Annam. His right is Annam. His left is Annam. I am Atma. This is the body. Idam Prucham Pratishta. His support is also food. Tadapesha Sloko Bhavati. So, about this food, he is now giving you details. Annadvai praja prajayante yah kascha prudhiviham sritaha atho annenaiva jivanti annagam hi bhutanam jestam tasmat sarvaushadamuchyate sarvam vaite annamapnuvanti e annam brahmopasate annagam hi bhutanam jestam tasmat sarvaushadamuchyate annad bhutani jayante जातान्यन्येन वर्धन्ते अद्यते अत्तीति च भूतानि tasmadannam tadachyata iti. This annam is called because it eats and it is eaten. Therefore, it's called annam. Right? From this annam, beings have come. Beings grow through this annam. When this ends its present form, it becomes annam for others. And this is the Aushada, medicine for the Vyadi, hunger, Vyadi. And if you respect this Annam, you will get any amount of Annam that you want. And because this is primary, this is the eldest. Now, let me give you some detail because our guide, Mrs. Harsha Muralidhar, our boss, have said I must talk about the koshas. I'm not as good as her because she has become an expert in Tattvabodh, but I'll try to do. We are all covered by various layers of personality. First is obvious is the food kosha, Annamaya kosha. Next obvious is we are moving, there is energy. That energy is called, there is life, Pranamaya kosha. Next, this with this energy, this body cannot move. In sleep, body is there, breathing is there, but you can't do any activity. You need mind to make you do the activity. This mind on its own, if it does activity, it will be like a dream. In dream, everything is confusing. In your dream, everything is confusing. It will be the same thing if this mind is allowed to do things. It should have a guiding principle. That guiding principle is called intellect. Okay, you have a body, I have a body. You have the prana, I have the prana. You have a mind, I have a mind. You have an intellect, I have an intellect. What makes us different? Your inclinations and my inclinations make us different. These inclinations are called the footprints of the actions left in our personality through the past lives. These inclinations in Sanskrit are called vasanas. They are called vasanas because once you eat the food, food is gone, vasana is left over. Action is gone, its footprints are there. Thus, we have 5 layers of personality. The Annamaya Kosha. Kosha is sheath, the food sheath. The vital air sheath, Pranamaya Kosha. The mental sheath, Manomaya Kosha. The intellectual sheath, Vijnanamaya Kosha. These vasanas, Anandamaya Kosha. Behind them is that Brahman. This Anandamaya Kosha, the vasanas, these vasanas, Anandamaya Kosha, there none of these instruments can reach. Even there, they are not available for eyes to see, ears to hear, mind to think, intellect to think, though they are their products. These vasanas. Therefore, since these cannot reach, it is dark. Therefore, it's called a cave. In that is concealed this womb. These are the 5 layers of personality, what we got. Now, I told you, all these 5 are not different. They are the same truth. They are the same truth. Emerging, subtle, then becoming with one more quality, gross. First it becomes space. The quality of space is sound. Then it becomes air. The quality of air is touch. Then from it manifests. Once you add one by one quality, the subtle becomes gross. Because these qualities limit the vitality. Space is everywhere. You add the quality, its space quality is sound. You add another quality, touch, it becomes vayu. You add another quality, form, it becomes fire. You add another quality, taste, it becomes water. You add another quality, smell, it becomes earth. Now what are these? Brahman manifested as space, again has grossified into air, further grossified into fire, further grossified into water, further grossified into earth. Therefore, Brahman alone is space, which has sound as its character. And this space, which is Brahman, taking another quality, becomes the air. So air is space and Brahman. This air becomes fire. Fire is air, space, and Brahman. This fire becomes water. Water is air, space, and Brahman. Sorry, fire, air, space, and Brahman. This water becomes earth. Earth is water, fire, air, space, and Brahman. Right? So all this is Brahman in different proportions of qualities that make it grosser. The grossest is the Annamaya Kosha because it is seen. So you think all that I know is this body because I came from the food my father took and my mother took, and I grew by that. And when I die, I become that. I know this ought to be my reality. Then he thinks, and teacher also says, how can this be inert matter? 5 elements be you. And then he thinks, there is another Atma in you. Anya Antara Atma. Antara inside. Inside here means subtle. Inside, layer by layer, when you are going nearer the Atman, it becomes subtler and subtler, and therefore it's called inside. Because it's nearer to the self. Inside this physical sheath is the Pranamaya Kosha. Inside that Pranamaya Kosha is Manomaya Kosha. Inside that Manomaya Kosha is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Inside that Vijnanamaya Kosha is the Anandamaya Kosha or Vasanas. Behind that is this Brahman, which is known through knowledge, which makes you enjoy everything in this world. Right? What is there more to know? You only have to sit and see the body, feel the body, then feel the air, vital air in you, then feel the mind in you, then feel the intellect, and then see what is behind the intellect. You will feel there is nothing. Because all these cannot reach their intellect. And suddenly you won't see that Brahman also. Suddenly you won't see the Brahman. You go to a position where there is nothing. Like in sleep, where there is nothing. This is beautifully explained in Bhagavata. Brahmaji, the Chaturmukha Brahma, meditates to know his origin. He could reach up to the time. Time is the first manipulation. Here also said space. Space and time are same. So he could reach up to that. Beyond that, he could not reach. Because the instruments that we have can only take up to time and space. Beyond time and space is the truth. So the vasanas are also there. This cannot take you there. So you feel there is nothing. But how can from nothing something can come? From nothing, how something can come? Number one, please understand these 2-3 logics. How can from nothing something can come? Number one. Number two, does nothing exist? If nothing exists, it is no more nothing. If nothing doesn't exist, there is nothing as nothing. Please think over. These are not for, gymnastics. I'm throwing these words. This you have to know. You will get the same doubts. Nothing can exist. The world that we see, the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya koshas cannot come from nothing. And that's all you can reach through your inquiry. That's all you can reach through your inquiry. Then what to do? Go on thinking. When you go on thinking, the subconscious mind comes out. The vasanas come out. The subconscious mind, vasanas come out. Why? Mind has become quiet in meditation. In a quiet mind, subconscious mind comes out. The vasanas come out. When there is little space, you will have a glimpse of the truth. See, what I am talking is the subtlest topic. So please try to understand. If you have difficulty, do not hesitate to ask me, because you cannot get this topic this way without undergoing a lot of uh, learning. So here you are getting it in a simpler way, right? So you go to time and space. Beyond that, you do not know, but don't stop. Go on meditating. Gradually, the vasanas come out, and you have a glimpse of that when the vasanas have given a little room of that consciousness. Once you have a glimpse of that, all doubts are gone, because in a room which was closed for 100 years, full of dark, one matchstick, when it illumines a small portion, it simultaneously illumines all portion. Gurudev says, in a rope covered by the vision of a snake, 1 square inch, you just found the rope. After that, you have no doubt. You know the whole snake is only rope. In one portion of a wave, you know this is all water. Thereafter, you know everything is water. So, one glimpse of that truth, Bindu, Amrita Bindu, right? One vision of that through these vasanas, through meditation, clears all doubts. And what is that state? Anandamaya, Brahmanandamaya, where there is no more fear, there are no more doubts. Why did I not do this? Why did I do this? Out of fear of that self, everything behaves properly, including cosmic forces and myself. You know now what happened now last during 37 minutes? I have finished the text, second valley. Now I have to only read it. Right? So kosha by kosha he takes and says each kosha is inside. Therefore, he uses the word antara. And we have done last week up to Vijnanamaya. Now he says, Anyo antaratma Vijnanamaya tenaisha purnaha savayesh purusha vidaha tasya purusha vidatam anvayam purusha vidaha tasya sriddhaiva shiraha rutam dakshina pakshaha satyam uttara pakshaha yogatma mahaprichaha pratishtha tadapyesha sloko bhavati. And then Vijnanam yagnam tanute karmani tanute picha vijnanam deva sarve brahma jestam upasate vignam brahma ched veda tasmat chenna pramadi sharire papmane hitva sarvan kaman samasnuta iti tasya esha eva sharira atmaya purvasya tasmad vijnanamayat Anyontara Atma Anandamaya. This Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anya Antara Atma, the one inside them is Anandamaya Kosha. Tenaisha Purnaha, that is also full. Savayesha Purusha Vidha, that is also of the form of the human being. Tasya Purusha Vidatam, that's also uh, in the form of the human being. Anvayam Purusha Vidaha. Why? Because the previous one is in the form of the human being. This also has to be in the form of human being because this fills that. The previous one is the mold. Into that mold, this later one fills. So it has to take that form. Tasya priyameva shiraha. This ananda has 3 intensities. Priya, moda, pramoda, ananda. Priya. When you love something, it's called priya. When you know that is there somewhere you can get it, it's called moda. When you enjoy it, it's called pramoda. All these things are only partial manifestations of that one Ananda, which is the very support, Ananda Atma, Brahma Prucham Pratishtha. Brahma Prucham Pratishtha. Right? The Ananda is the very trunk of this Priya, Moda, Pramoda. This Ananda is supported by that Brahman. In fact, they are not two different things. Ananda, Anandamaya Kosha, Brahma are all same. Slight difference, you don't have to worry about it. Because even the text jumps and doesn't bother, because once you have reached this Vasana Maya Kosha and do meditation, the Ananda is not far off. Ananda Maya Kosha, Ananda, they are not very far off. And therefore, in this Vasana Maya also, it's blissful. When you sleep, it is blissful. And it's illumined by that consciousness. Therefore, there is not much of a difference. You concentrate a little more on these vasanas, you experience that Ananda. Therefore, that Brahmananda is its support, and the total Ananda is the very body of Priya, Moda, and Pramoda. Right? Now, I stop here for 1 second to ask Harsha whether something more has to be said on the koshas, because she has been doing it. Harsha.
Uncle.
Yeah. Honestly, if we have to say something, let us say. They should not miss.
Uncle, you have made easier for my class. Thank you.
No, really.
Beautiful explanation, Uncle. Thank you.
Because you see, people should not have suffer because of our little effort. That's why I'm asking you.
Uncle, beautiful, Uncle. Thank you for sharing, Krishna.
Okay, thank you. Right. Now, we said there, after this Anandamaya, the Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So now this Anandamaya, as I told you, is in the beginning like non-existence, because only a little more meditation you can peep into that. So he discusses the topic for us. Asanneva sabhavati asad brahmeti veda chet asti brahmeti chet veda santamenam tado viduruti tasyeva eva sharira atma yah purvasya. The man who reaches up to that time and space and the vasanamaya and feels there is nothing and declares nothing, there is nothing, nihilism. Even a school of Buddhist teaching is nihilism. There is nothing. That is the truth. Contradiction. Nothing is a truth, because the definition of truth is that which is there in all the three periods. How can nothing be the truth? Number one. Number two, you experience nothing. Yes. If you experience nothing, you were there to experience. How can it be nothing? You experience nothing. You were there. How can it be nothing? So therefore, whoever he says nothing, he firstly denies that he exists. Therefore, it says, whoever says there is nothing becomes nothing. Whoever says there is something becomes something. Very beautiful and simple. Very beautiful and simple. Therefore, now he has come to the gates of the truth, the ultimate Brahman. Not even the gates. He has crossed all the gates. Almost just a little more teaching is there. Almost face to that. So now the student asks, you said everything is Brahman, including the Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, and all that. If that is so, both enlightened and unenlightened must be enjoying the same bliss, must be enjoying the same status. What is the difference? The difference, I have already told you. If you know you are Brahman, you are Brahman. If you do not know, you suffer under your own ignorance. You made that ignorance. Gurudev beautifully says, a cave, the darkness of the cave is made by the cave itself. Think, please think. The darkness of the cave is made by the cave itself. Your ignorance of the Brahman is made by you itself. So that he asked the question, and as an introduction to our Brahmananda, the teacher answers that, further takes us to this Mimamsa, this discussion of the Brahmananda. The question is, अथातो अनुप्रश्नाः उत अविद्वान् अमुं लोकं प्रेत्य कच्चन गच्छति अहो विद्वान् अमुं लोकं प्रेत्य कच्चित् समश्नुता. Where does this ignorant man go? Where does this enlightened man go after leaving this world? The doubt has arisen because everything is Brahman, so both should get. The corollary of the doubt is, is there something at all after leaving this body? That is the doubt. So that is answered. Saha akamayate bahusyam prajayeti satapo tapva satapastapva idagam sarvam asrujata yedidam kincha tasrustva tadevanu pravishat tadanu pravishya satya tyachya abhavat niruktam cha aniruktam cha nilayanam cha anilayanam cha vignanam cha aviggnanam cha satyam cha anrutam cha satyam abhavat yedidam kimcha tat satyamittya trikshate tadapyesha sloko bhavati. He alone was there, and because he is full and complete, there he came to a mood, let us express myself into many. Bahusyam prajayeti, he got the desire, and then he brooded how to bring out the various forms. So tapas tapva idagam sarvam asrujya. Through mere thinking and contemplating, he brought out these forms. He alone was there. By thinking, he brought out these forms. They can only be imaginations and thought forms. That's why Max Planck, the author of quantum physics, the originator of quantum physics and atoms, who got Nobel Prize for that, analyzes and says, mind is the matrix of matter. There is nothing beyond it. Another, this thing Gurudev recently quoted, Sir Eddington, in the book Nature of the Physical World, he goes little further. He says consciousness is the basis of the entire world. All these people are physicists. All of them have got Nobel Prize for that, and they deny the entire universe. So it's all thought forms of Bhagavan. And having created a form through imagination, he himself entered into that, and then he became Satya manifest, Tyachya unmanifest, Niruktam cha, Aniruktam cha, the defined, undefined, Nilayanam, Anilayanam, Vignanam, Avignanam, known, not known, Nrutam, Anrutam, Satyam, Anrutam, all that he has become. And all that is essentially that Sat only, that existence only. Right? And now that question, if one thinks Asat, he is Asat. If one thinks it is Sat, he is Sat. He tries to take us from here. Asadva idamagra asid tato va satajayata tadatmanagam swayamakuruta tasmat sukrutamuchyataiti. Initially it was Asat. Asat means unmanifest is called Asat in Vedanta language. In Vedanta language, Asat means unmanifest. Sat means manifest. That is why The grosser elements, Prithvi, Vayu, fire, are called Sat. The subtler elements, Prithvi, water and fire are called Sat. Vayu and Akasha are called Asat because unmanifest. So unmanifest alone was there. That means in Brahman, these manifest forms were not there. Tato vai sadajayata. From that came the manifested world. Tadatmanagam swayamakuruta. He himself brought out them. Tasmat sukritamuchyati. Since he himself brought these forms and this world from himself, they have the same rasa, ananda qualities of him, and therefore Sukruta, well done. This world is equally beautiful. The world is nothing but Narayana. He says, Yadvai Tat Sukrutam Rasa Vaisaha. This Sukrutam, this world, this beautiful world is nothing but Rasa, Ananda. Rasakam hevayam ladva anandi bhavati. The joy of this world alone makes you happy. Koho kaha eva anyat kaha pranayet. Kaha yeah. Pranya. So if this Ananda was not there, who will live even for a split second? Yadesha Akasho Anando no syat. If this Ananda is not there, nobody will live. People are living in spite of several problems because there is an element of joy. If this is not there, nobody will live. Therefore, this Brahman is the truth of the entire world and it exists. Earlier he said it is Sat. Now he says it is Ananda. The world is also Sat and Ananda, covered by forms. What are the forms? Your own thoughts, your own prejudices. A goldsmith sees only gold through Rama, Sita, Lakshmana, Hanuman. He doesn't see different things. A man who knows the secret of hydrology sees only water in waves and bubbles and ocean. He doesn't see differences. The man who sees the world sees only Brahman in all the forms. Yadahi eva yesha yet asmin adrushye anatmye anirukte anilayane abhayam pratistham vindate atha sa abhayam gato bhavati yadahi eva yesha etasmin udaramantaram kurute atatasya bhayam bhavati tat tatveva bhayam vidusho manvanasya tadapyesha sloko bhavati. The one who doesn't inquire, the one who does not reflect, the world creates fear because he sees differences, he sees duality. The one who sees the oneness, who gets established in all the multiple plurality, he gains abhayam, the state of abhayam. He gains by knowing the one. By not knowing the one gets fear. And that, what is that state of Brahman? Bhishma, Bhishasmat Vataha Pavate, Bhishoditi Suryaha, Bhishad Asmad Agnis Chandrascha, Mrityu Dhavati Panchamaha. From that, boom, which is in our heart, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, out of fear for him, all the cosmic forces like the sun and the moon, Vayu, etc., do their duties relentlessly, without a break, following the rules. That is that Atman. And this Atman is Ananda, full of Ananda. So he is now going to give us a graphical description of this Ananda. You cannot give a graphical description of the infinite. But he is trying to do for two reasons. One, you should have some sort of a imagination for you to probe into the beyond. Therefore, he tries to give a graphical description, though he knows that is not literal. Second reason, you still feel when you get Brahma Jnana, you will miss pakoda, you will miss malls, you will miss discourse. He says you won't miss anything. Therefore, he gives the graphical description. And what does he say? The pagoda, the disco, all that you will get only limited. Here, you get all of them 100 times. 100 in Vedanta means infinite. Shata, Sahasra, they're all used for infinite. In the outer world, which you think you should not miss, you get only limited. Here, you get all that simultaneously and infinite in number. Therefore, Shata, 100. And now let us see. Sayesha Anandasya Mimamsa Bhavati, the inquiry into this Ananda. Yuvatsya Sadhu, Yuva Adhyayakaha, Asishto, Drudishto, Balishtaha, Tasya Iyam Prithvi Sarva Vittasya Purnasyat, Sayeko Manusha Ananda. There is a youth. That youth is cultured, educated, and disciplined, strong, firm. He has the entire earth filled with wealth. In case there is a youth who is cultured, who is strong, who is firm, right? And he has the entire earth filled with wealth, that is one unit of human happiness. स एको मानुषानन्दः ते ये शतं मानुषानन्दाः स एको मनुष्य गंधर्वानाम आनन्दः. 100 times of this manushya ananda is manushya gandharvanam ananda. Manushya gandharvas are artists, musicians, dancers, etc., etc. But that is also finite. And this ananda, 100 times ananda, the manushya ananda, which people try to get through music, dance, and all arts. So all that is got by whom? Srotriyasya, the enlightened. Akamahatasya, one who dropped all desires. That's in you, covered by the desires, by ignorance. Ignorance is removed by Srotriya and desires drop. You experience that. So whatever is said by this Manushya Gandharva, you get it. And then Te shatam manushya gandharvanam anandah sa eko deva gandharvanam anandah. You see, Gandharva, artists of the earth. Deva Gandharva, artists of the heaven. That is 100 times more than this. That also this man gets. Who? Srotriyasya, the enlightened. Akamahatasya, who has dropped his desires. Dropping the desires, the ananda manifests. Enlightenment, you know the ananda, you gain it. Te shatam devagandharvanam anandah sa eka pitrunam tiralokanam anandah. That 100 times this devagandharvanam anandah is pitruloka anandah. That also got by the Srotriya and Akamahataha. Srotriya enlightened, Akamahataha who has dropped his desires. Te shatam pitrunam Chiralokanam anandaha eka ajanajanam devanam anandaha. 100 times then this Pitruloka ananda or the inhabitants of this heavens. That is 100 times. That also this man gets. Srotriya and Akamahataha. Te shatam ajanajanam devanam anandaha sa eka karma devanam ananda. People who become adepts and who gets joy after their fulfillment in their work, they are called karma devas. That is 100 times more than the ajanajam anandaha. That ananda is also got by the Srotriya and Akamahataha. Te shatam karma devanam anandaha sa eko devanam anandaha. 100 times then this karma deva ananda is the one deva ananda. That is also got by the Srotriya and Kamahata. What does it mean? No ananda that you are imagining is not denied to this man, Srotriya and Akamahata. He gets all anandas. Why are you hunting? I want this, I want that. I want to learn music, I want to learn dance, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be the president, I want to be... Why? All that you get here. You have to only do two things. Learn one Upanishad from a teacher. Let him tell you, Tattvamasi, you understand. Drop all your desires. You get everything. Te shatam devanam anandaha sa eka indranam Indrasya Ananda, Srotriyasya Akamaha Tasya, all 100 times the Devas Ananda is Indra's Ananda, and that also Srotriya and Akamaha get Te Shatam Indra Namananda, Sa Eko Bruhaspati Ananda, 100 times this Indra's Ananda is Bruhaspati's Ananda, and that also this man gets. Say, Te Shatam Bruhaspati Ananda, Sa Eka Prajapati Ananda, 100 times this Bruhaspati's Ananda is one Brahmaji creator's Ananda. That also Srotriya Akamaha target. Te Shatam Prajapati Ananda, Sa Eko Brahmana Ananda, 100 times this Ananda of this Prajapati, the creator, is Brahmananda. That is this. That also this man gets. No, sorry, that is this man. That also this man gets. No, that is this man. Whatever he has been searching. It's a graphical description. And I asked once Kavita to count. She put 1 plus 20 zeros. I don't think any computer will show. Even that is not correct, because infinite in a number of numbers cannot make it infinite. But for us to understand, he out of love has given this graphical description. It's infinite. Sa yaschayam purushe yascha savad yascha aso aditye sa ekaha. That Ananda, that Brahman in this Purusha, and that sun is the same. Sa evam vit asmal lokat pretya. He who knows this, having left this world or the ego, this world or the ego, yetam annamayam atmanam upasankramati. He attains this annamaya Atma, also transcends it. Etam pranamayam atmanam upasankramati. He attains the pranamaya and transcends it. Etam manomayam atmanam upasankramati. He gains and transcends manomaya. Yetam Vijnanamaya Atmanam Upasankramati. He gains and transcends Vijnanamaya. Yetam Anandamayam Atmanam Upasankramati. He gains and transcends Anandamaya Kosha. Also, what is this gain and transcends? Because once you transcend, the lower one is already in that. Oh, he's a millionaire. Ayyo, he has gone beyond that. He is a millionaire. He has gone beyond that. He is a billionaire. Once he is a billionaire, he is a millionaire too. The millionaire is in the billionaire. Therefore, he has the millionaire and transcended that too. Okay. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan na vibheti kutastaneti. This Brahmananda, you only have to use the pointers pointed out by the teacher and try to make enquiries go into you. The words that I've said do not produce Brahman. They're only pointers. Yetagam va avanatapati. Having got this knowledge, he doesn't thereafter worry. Kimaham sadhana, why didn't I do good? Kimaham papamakarvam, why did I do sin? Sa evam vidva an yete atmanam prunute. One who he knows both the punya and papa are all expressions of that one truth. Ubehi yeva yesha yete atmanam prunute. He knows the atman. He who knows this punya, this papa, this good, this bad, all of them are his expression. Sa evam Veda, he alone knows that truth. Upanishad. This ends this Upanishad. Sahanavatu sahanavunaktu saha vidyam karavavai tejasvina vaditamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. I had conditioned my mind to do only one more class, so I have rushed through. But I am satisfied, though I rushed through, you didn't miss anything. But in case you missed anything, you felt I rushed through, please feel free either to talk to me or send me messages. You don't miss anything because of my stupidity. Okay? Thank you. Hari Om.